Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And another one. Now, I want you to go back to a place in your life where someone has said something to you so horrific, so terrifying. They have done something to you so just out of pocket that has changed your whole mindset of who you thought you were, changed your whole mindset of who you thought you were, what you, who you thought you were. It changed everything that you ever knew about yourself. It all changed with this one split second. It all changed in this one split second. Everything that you thought you knew about yourself just changed. Now, some may have had that moment, some may not. I've had that moment. Ninth grade English class. Sitting in ninth grade English class, just chilling. You know, the bell hadn't rung yet, so that means that the teacher wasn't teaching yet. We were all just kind of congregating around in class, you know, not really doing anything too serious, just congregating. I was in my seat, and there was a young lady that sat directly in front of me. And she turned around and looked me dead in my face and said, I mean no harm. Let me pause there for a second. If somebody tells you, and you may know this already, but I'm just going to say it anyway. If somebody says to you, I mean no harm, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be some harm followed behind the next statement. I'm just saying, I digress. All right, so she proceeded to say to me, I mean no harm, but if I had a child that looked like you, I would throw it in the trash can. So I paused because I'm trying to process what was just being said to me. Like, what do I do with that? How do I process that? Like, first of all, what type of person are you? Okay, to say that to another human being. Like, how do you, who created you? You know what I'm saying? Like, who created you? How do you look another human being squarely in the face and say that? How does one do that? I don't know. But at any rate, I started to look around behind me to see if perhaps she was talking to somebody behind me. And I'm like, I know she's not talking to me. Sadly enough, she's talking to me. She's talking to me. Now, that comment would be a comment that would forever change my life. Forever change my life. Hello, I am Coach Latoya Rush, the Disabilities Empowerment Coach and speaker. And today we're going to talk about using your pain to push you to purpose. That's right, using your pain to push you to purpose. Now, some of you may or may not be able to tell I have a disability. I have a rare genetic syndrome called Pfeiffer syndrome. Now, don't get so caught up in the lingo. It just simply means that I was born with no, my bones didn't connect the way that they should have connected. Your bones are supposed to fuse a certain way in your body, and my bones didn't do that in my skull. So when I was born, my skull was sitting on top of my brain, practically crushing my brain because there was no stems or anything to protect my brain from my skull. It also caused hearing loss and vision loss. And I don't quite look like everybody else. With that being said, you can imagine that I have had my fair share of pain or my fair share of experience in pain. You know, somebody once said, two of the greatest days of your life is the day you were born and the day you understand why. Now, as we all know, being born is nothing that we have any type of control over. We don't have no control over being born. We have no control over when we're born, who we're born to, how we're born. All of that is left up to God. That's in God's control, not ours. We have no responsibility for that. But the second part of that The why. The why. That thing that keeps you up at night. The why. That thing that keeps you running around this thing called life in America around. That thing that causes you to throw things up against the wall to see what sticks. That why. What is that why? That why that causes you to bounce from job to job. That why that causes you to bounce from relationship to relationship. That why, that purpose. That's what we're gonna try to get to. That purpose. That purpose. So many of us don't understand or realize or recognize what our purpose is. We don't even know how to get to our purpose. As I said before, I have encountered a lot of pain. Uh, as I said previously, I was born with a disability, and that came with its own set of pain. I've had 30, 40, 45 operations. I've been in surgery so long that I was in surgery from one day to the next. Now, I know you can't imagine being in surgery for a whole 24 hours, but I've been in surgery for a whole 24 hours. I've lost blood, pints and pints of blood. I've had to have blood transfusions. I can remember being 5, 6, 7 years old, being wheeled into the operating room, begging God, please let this be the last time. God, please let this be the last time. I don't know how much more my body can take. My body can't take anymore, God. I can't do this anymore. Please let this be the last time. God said to me, hold on, I got you. So, on top of having a disability, God felt like I needed some special parents. My mother was addicted to crack, and my dad was an alcoholic. No, wait, my dad was not an alcoholic. My dad was a drunk. Let's just be all the way real about it. My dad was a drunk. He did not attend any Alcoholic Anonymous meeting. The only meeting my dad attended was the meetings at the liquor store. That was it. So, growing up in a tumultuous household, sometimes coming home to fussing, fighting, arguing, the police at my house, coming home to no food in the refrigerator, coming home to just chaos, pain, more pain, going to school, getting bullied, getting picked on, getting laughed at, getting teased, pain. At the top of it all off, I go to foster care. My parents finally got to a point where they couldn't take care of me anymore. No surprise there, no shock there. They get to a point where they could no longer take care of me. And I have to go to foster care, where I'm passed around from home to home to home to home to home. I think in a matter of a year, I was in 4 different foster homes in 1 year. 4 different foster homes in 1 year. Another set of pain. Each foster home was met with its own level of abuse and neglect and abuse and neglect and abuse and neglect. More pain. And again, now I'm going back to God at this point. Okay, I'm like, okay, God, really, really, like this is what we're doing. Like I don't understand. Like I'm confused at this point. I don't have. I need some answers. I need to know what's going on. Like, okay, the disability, the parents, now I'm in foster care. What else you got for me? You got anything else for me? Can you got anything else for me? Anything else? Because at this point, I don't think I can take anything else. Hold on. I got you. Hold on. I got you. And every time I went to God, that's all he kept telling me was, hold on. I got you. I managed to survive foster care. But I never understood why I had to go through all of that. Like, to me, it never made sense. I never understood why I had to go through all of those trials and tribulations until now. I understand now that every one of those situations that caused me pain is to get me to this point right here. Because I went through that pain, I became a college graduate, not once but twice. Because I went through that pain, I became a 7-time published author. Because I went through that pain, I became a business owner. Because I went through that pain, I'm standing here before you whole. Because I went through that pain. If I had not went through that pain, I wouldn't be standing here before you. If I had not went through that pain, I would not be able to stand up here and speak to you the way that I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to you like this because I understand what my pain was for. I understand why I had to go through that. I understand what the purpose, come on now, what the purpose of my pain was. Now I'm going to give you three, count them 1, 2, 3, 3 techniques that I use that work for me and my pain. Now, some of you guys' pain may not be nowhere near what I've gone through. It may not be. It may not be as bad as mine, or it may be worse than mine. But at the end of the day, pain is pain is pain. And I guarantee you, these 3 simple techniques that I'm going to share with you right now is going to help you get to know and understand how to use that pain and to push you to where you should be. Okay. Tip number 1, recognize. Recognize. What do you mean, Lakeria, recognize? Recognize, when I say recognize, I mean feel it. I mean feel what you need to feel in that moment. See, that's the problem. So many of us are scared to feel pain. So many of us are scared to sit in it for a second and get what we're supposed to get from it and feel it because it hurts. I know it hurts. I know it's not comfortable. I know it feels bad. I know it doesn't feel comfortable and it doesn't hurt. And it does hurt. And it doesn't feel good. It's not comfortable and it hurts. It's supposed to. It's pain. If it didn't, then it wouldn't be pain. It wouldn't be pain. If it didn't hurt and if it didn't feel uncomfortable, it wouldn't be pain. See, we become so accustomed to sweeping our pain under the rug so we don't have to deal with it. We become so accustomed to ignoring it because we don't want to deal with the feeling that the pain brings. Recognize it. That's number 1. Number 2, take what you need from it and move on. Take what you need from it and move on. What do you mean, Lakeria? I mean, there are things in that pain that you need. You take what you need from the pain and you move on. You take what you need from the experience and you move on. You don't sit in it. You don't soak in it. You don't have a pity pat party. You take what you need from it and move on. People often ask me about all the things that I've gone through. When I tell them my testimony and I tell them all the things that I've gone through and all the things that I've had to endure, being in foster care, being put out, being homeless as a kid, all the stuff that I've ever had to endure, I tell people about it. And they often say to me, wow, you're not crying, you're not upset, you're not angry. And I tell them, if I sat in a corner and I cried about everything that ever happened to me, I'd be crying forever. Life is too short for that. So I refuse to allow my pain to hold me hostage. I refuse to allow my pain to keep me stuck and stagnant. So therefore, I took what I needed from my pain. I took what I needed from that experience that I had with that young lady in 9th grade. I took what I needed from it and I moved on. I no longer allow it to control my life. I no longer allow it to determine who I am. I no longer allow it to determine where I'm going to be and where I'm going to go and what I'm going to do. I no longer allow it to. I don't. I took what I needed from it and I moved on. Lastly, number 3, I use it. I use it. I use what she said to me in 9th grade. I use it every day to push me. I use it every day. Every time I get up and I'm getting ready to do something, I use it. I use what she said. If she had a child that looked like me, she would throw it in the trash can. I use it. I use it as my fuel. I use it as my ammunition. I use it as my gas. I put it in my car and I allow it to push me to the next level because I understand that experience happened for a reason. That experience happened because God knew that I would need something to push me. God knew that I would need something to make me go harder. And I go hard every day because of what she told me in that prayer. I go hard every day because of what she said to me. So that's what you got to do. You got to take that pain and use it to your advantage. Don't let it use you. You use it. Don't let it take over your life. You take over it. You take that pain and you put that pain inside of you and you store it at a place where you can use it. You store it in your gas tank. Allow it to be your fuel in the late night hour when you don't feel like doing it. You get up and you do it anyway because you got that pain to push you. It's pushing you to better. It's pushing you to more. It's pushing you to greater. You allow that pain to push you to where you're supposed to be. You allow that pain to elevate you to where you're supposed to be. You allow that pain to formulate you and push you to where you're supposed to be. That's what the pain is there for. That's the purpose behind your pain. The purpose behind your pain is to push you to higher, to greater, to better, to more. That is why you went through what you went through. Come on. That is why you have experienced what you have experienced because God knew that you would need a push. God knew that you would need something more. God knew that you would need something to push you and motivate you and encourage you and take you higher. He knew you would need that. So you take that pain, you get up out the mud, you brush yourself off, you hold your head up high, and you take that experience and you put it in your car and you push to the top. I am Coach Latria Rush. Thank you very much.